But game 2 on the way. As we said, this is the best of 3. So Retribution obviously have to make some changes. Where do you want to see those changes?
I think I just want to see them go for a little bit better pressure lanes throughout the early game, or at least in their side lanes have better pressure, because it's one thing to lose the jungle trade out at the level 2-3 stage. It's another thing entirely when you lose that trade out and then your side lanes are also getting heavily pressured out as well. So it's got to be one or the other if Retribution have to make a decision. And I think if they put pressure in the side lanes, even if the mid jungle falls behind again, they'll be able to make up for it a little bit better throughout that team fighting portion.
Well, now we're into game number 2. Retribution going to ban out XuenMushh's Athena. A little bit too much to handle was the Global Guardian. Freya banned out by Noxious. RTB now on the clock. We'll look for the Baron. And Noxious here. I think they're looking for that Chernobog, although Neonate really didn't provide such a devastating pushback. So it will, of course, it'll be the Cabrakan ban. That's definitely something that we expect to see here.
Noxious know what the players of Retribution are capable of. I think Total Bad Boy could have brought out a pretty mean Cabrakan support, and Retribution now leaning towards this Nike. A little bit ambiguous, though, as to whether it's going to be solo support, possibly even jungle. We have seen jungle Nike a couple of times in the past here. And with that in mind, Noxious immediately looking for the response. And we were just talking about pressure, but we wanted to see it for Retribution. And I think Noxious might have overheard us.
Yeah, Pele and Agni certainly going to light this game up. Haha, fire, right? But no, the pressure kind of out of control here for Noxious right off the bat. Janus, Loki, and Nike for Retribution. Is this the what throwing in the towel looks like? First picking Nike and then going for Loki?
I think this is what we could safely say that this is an interesting flex pick from Retribution, and whatever happens with the Loki, I don't think anybody will really be all that surprised. Whether if it works out poorly, well, I don't think anybody's really surprised. If it works out great somehow by some miracle, then great. I don't really know what else to say other than that. Retribution possibly thinking that Loki's burst damage can help them find secure picks onto Noxious's carries.
I mean, realistically, I do like the surprise Loki. He deletes characters better than no other character, even still here in 2018, right? We have the advent of Naja with buffs and Pele, but if you're really looking to just, aim strike, delete a character, Loki's going to be your go-to. And with the way Pele works, you don't get a second shot at Pele. You just get to kill her. Problem is, Loki's going to be hit up by the dot from Agni, hit up by the cone from Pele. Tyr's going to do something, and then he's going to get marked. So
won't be invisible for very long with that Mark of the Crow. Now able to show invis at the level 1.
Right.
So you don't even have to max out Mark of the Crow 2. It was 3 points that you needed beforehand before that buff for Hou Yi a while back. And now, with only the 1 point necessary, this Loki might even have to be facing up against the Hou Yi. No, I doubt that they'll throw Hou Yi into the solo lane. This could be Loki in the mid lane, though.
It could
or
be
jungle.
It could be Loki. Realistically, what I want to see from Noxious is Agni mid, Tyr jungle, Pele solo, and then 2 Hunters Darda style. Realistically, I just want to see a Tyr jungle. Tyr jungle is one of my favorite applications of the game, so that's all I'm rooting for. I really don't care what Noxious do, because I think they're going to win nonetheless. But please, give me a Tyr jungle.
This might be Tyr support, actually.
It's going to be a Tyr support.
It could be Tyr support or Pele support. We have yet to see the Pele in the support role, but there is some possibility.
No, we get the... XuenMushh. Oh, no, XuenMushh is going to play Tyr solo. So the support player is going to go play Tyr solo. The mid laner is going to play Pele jungle. The solo player will play Agni mid. The jungler will play Cupid carry. And the hunter will play Hou Yi. Oh, no.
Don't forget, everybody on Retribution traded places, too.
The jungler is playing Cupid support, and Hydro is going to play Hydro. It looks like the team was like, yo, let's have fun, and Hydro was like, pick me Hou Yi so I can stomp on these nerds. And they're like, no, we're having fun and trading roles and picking off picks. And he goes, pick me Hou Yi so I can stomp on these nerds. He's not having fun here.
I don't blame him. It's a competition at the end of the day. Still a little bit of pride on the line, and Noxious looking to close things out. They've had a pretty good fall split, and I don't think they want to let it up anytime soon. Horrific Emblem will be popped, however. Not sure that it's going to be able to get Reform Mango out of danger, though.
He's got the wiggles. And so far, he's been able to find a way out. Hydro also good. Meownate, on the other hand, not so safe. As mid laner Eribiiax having fun in the jungle today. Hey, bud. Support no longer. XuenMushh gets the kill in the solo lane tier. I like to see that. You know what's fun about this? I feel like Noxious went, all right, Zwen, you're going to play solo. When was the last time you played solo? And he's like, when tier was relevant.
All right, Wolfie.
Hey, man, tier. People ask me my favorite characters in Smite, and tier is still high on that list. And you know where it comes from? It comes from back when Anatoly was a player, and Lazes would play Blink tier in the jungle. And you would just, you know, level 4, you'd just be chilling in the mid lane, picking your nose, and then Blink, 180, fearless, power cleave, and you're just dead. Ooh. And the lockdown just always got me excited, man. Always.
I guess it depends. We have two pretty opposing opinions, though, but mine's for separate reasons. I play Hunter. I hate tier with everything that I am. As Dobson probably hates being Loki right about now, because that's probably the last time he'll ever be able to look at his speed buff now that Noxious have the timer, and with Zwen having so much pressure over there in solo lane, just bodying Lyzurrr off cooldown. That's just going to make things even easier for Noxious to continuously rotate in for these speed and blue buff respawns.
Yeah, Loki in the jungle is... The problem with Loki in the jungle is lack of wave clear and how easily he gets invaded. Theoretically, Loki is the quintessential jungler, right? Appear in your lane, invisible, kill you before you can respond. The problem is getting the farm, and that's why traditionally when we see competitive Lokis, we really only see them in the solo lane. In fact, in the past couple of years, the only jungle Loki I could ever think of being successful was Skeleton in that one game.
And you're right for a reason. Loki just doesn't ever really seem to transition very well into that competitive aspect, and it's largely just because of how abusable he is in the early game. And at competitive levels of play, players will be grouped up and punished. That's the difference between your ranked games and your casual games and a competitive matches. You've actually got comms with your entire team, and not only that, but between those comms, you also have team synergy. Yeah,
players that know how to react to how you play. Mango looking for Bad Boy. The B is going to be used early, but not before the stun. And Hydro gets set up by his support Cupid for the double tap. Mr. Turtle tried to do what he can, but not going to be the case here. XuenMushh just still providing the damage. Nice jump to avoid the Fearless, though.
He has no more damage, though. But we'll force out Lyzurr's ultimate anyway. Lyzurr still thinking that Zwen was chasing him. Ults. And this also feels kind of similar to what we saw from Lyzurrr in the jungle. He just panicked and reacted without really understanding what's actually taking place.
Yeah, just panic is a good word. Just really hit him with the, oh, I got to press my oh no button, right? And, well, I don't really think you had to.
It's like if you wanted to push the oh no button, do it when you're already taking half of your health.
Total Bad Boy going to take half his health here from the support Cupid's ultimate. Meanwhile, Dobson getting XuenMushhed. I like that.
Zwen is 3-0 right now, level 7, already 2 levels above everybody else in this game. It doesn't seem like he has any intentions of slowing down. Everybody who comes near him, well, Lyzurrr will be successful in securing his own blue buff. A little bit of a mistime there from Zwen, but
nice play.
I still just think that this tier is going to pose some very serious threats to Retribution pretty soon here, the moment that he starts rotating.
Exactly. Tyr, I also want to see him build at least one damaging item. Tyr is a character that strikes me like a Shock, Sun Wukong occasionally, where, yeah, you're solo lane and you're tanky, but very important to what you do is a little bit of damage. Shock with no damage is kind of a wet noodle with an annoying little slow. Tyr, Fearless can really set you up, but if it's not doing a bunch of damage, your team really needs to find the kill off of that Fearless. So he's got a big lead here. I want to make sure he tenders it nicely.
No, man, Eribiiax could be getting collapsed on now. Lyzurrr going to end up rotating in. There's the aim strike damage and the assassinate onto Gnome. He'll get blown up in an instant. Nice rotation from Total Bad Boy. Also going to end up bringing down Eribiiax and Noxious. bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Kind of still expecting Retribution to just roll over and die, I think.
Yeah, nice response there from Ret, making the full rotation. The Apollo did. Hydro going to get collapsed on by the support and the Hunter. Hydro waiting for the freeze. Finds the ultimate to slow down Mr. Turtle. Total Bad Boy going to come out on the top as well. Hydro stunned out, but the damage coming a little bit late. With that said, nobody from Noxious in the area. A beautiful crowd control setup. Mr. Turtle does get the kill. Hey, by the way, XuenMushh again. Mush is down Lyzurrr. That's kill number 4 for him.
Hydro should have held those beads until Mr. Turtle had actually gone for the Frost Breath Glacial Strike. I just don't think he was really in much danger beforehand.
Yeah.
But the missing of the Ricochet is what really got him underneath that Sunbreaker. Had he actually connected with that Ricochet, the Mark of the Crowstone would have been applied, and then Mr. Turtle could have possibly just ended up dying by the time Total Bad Boy even rotates back in.
That's fair. That's certainly where I was looking. Eribiiax now looking around the backside of the mid lane, not going to find it. And so with a bunch of players in their unnatural positions, Noxious still find themselves in the lead, about 1,500, 2,000 gold.
On the bright side, though, we have seen more signs of life from Retribution in this match than the last. They have managed to respawn with 3 pretty solid picks, if you ask me, just because I don't think that Noxious should be permitted to roam as freely as they have been inside of Retribution's jungle. I understand that there's a very severe lack of pressure, but that doesn't mean that it's completely impossible to punish Noxious for their overextensions.
Eribiiax going to punish Mr. Turtle. Now at 3 for 2 on the left side, but Dobson making the full rotation. Mango could just be worm food. Total Bad Boy going to the sky, and Mango will die. The Apollo now looking for the follow-up kill. Will land on the backside of Hydro, who immediately drops to Suns, and it's enough to drop Total Bad Boy. Not the greatest moment for the Apollo player.
Some life regrets, but check this out. Eribiiax still wrapping around, looking to cut off Meowne here on this backside corner. Doesn't realize where Dobson has actually gone off to. Gnome, though, going to dash forward aggressively in that Path of Flame, and now Mr. Turtle, that he's respawned, looking to bring down Gnome.
Gnome does die, but so does the mid laner. Meowne easily taken care of by Eribiiax after the fact, who will look for the proxy farm with the Hunter. XuenMushh now looking for the speed buff invade, and looks like he'll get it. Dobson trying to control the tier, but that be that.
Dobson's going to die if he sticks around for much longer, and he realizes there's a tasty snack waiting for him inside of his left side jungle. Total Bad Boy has successfully baited Eribiiax in here, but Eribiiax almost making the 2-for-1 exchange a real-life tragedy there for Retribution.
That lifesteal, certainly not something to ignore. The passive from Pele, a very big deal. And with the Soul Eater rush coming out from the jungle, Pele, it's only going to help him. He had level 2 online for that team fight, so certainly just going to get scarier as his lifesteal goes up and up.
Oh, great through space and time there from Meowne, but not enough follow-up just yet with RvL Gnome rotating back in here. Meowne going to end up getting aggressed on one more time, actually loses 75% of his health, and now he's going to be forced to back away one more time. This is all beneficial for Gnome in the end because Gnome might have just respawned, but Meowne's been repeatedly pressured out of being able to just sit in mid and farm like he needs to.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a problem, I think. Just Meowne level 9, about a full level down here from Gnome, and Gnome just stealing enemy harpy cams, doing whatever he wants. Lyzurrr can't stop him.
Stunned just for good measure, in fact, but Lyzurrr still going to push forward. After dropping the ultimate, though, through space and time, might have just set up Gnome for the kill, and sure enough, assassinate into the aim strike. That's more than enough damage. Total Bad Boy, though, trying to help his team after the fact as Meowne is still on the run here. Reform Mango, hoping to bring him down, but now Mango's the one who's actually fallen way too low for his liking.
Well, XuenMushh is here by himself. Eribiiax has to go elsewhere. But the split push on the left side, certainly a strong one. Tier 1 tower already down. Xuen healing up as he power cleaves into Mr. Turtle. Changes his mind, looks towards the Hunter. That'll chase Total Bad Boy away. Nice dodge of the freeze there. XuenMushh just continuing to push into the enemy opposition so that his Hunter can do whatever the hell he wants. Let's take a look at Hydra one more time. And the tower falls down. Well,
not yet.
I am surprised there. I thought he was going to take it.
He's got to commit. Oh, he could have committed there.
That's probably the wrong choice, I think.
Hydro now, though, still going to end up in a 2-for-1 that he never asked for. It's Xuen still trying to control his own 2-for-1 on the opposite spectrum. But Eribiiax has actually managed to rotate in. Total Bad Boy will end up falling first to the Pele. Meanwhile, Lyzurrr still being controlled here by Xuen. One more time, drops that Nike ultimate just to defend his blue buff and will be successful. But Mango and Hydro, now they've got all the time in the world to help bring down this Gold Fury.
Gold Fury, the classic ping pong here. 2 hunters taking care of business. I do like to see the attention to the fundamentals there. Nice job.
Xuen a little disappointed in himself for that miss Fearless.
That's that feeling we were talking about before. You just want to like, all right, I'm backing. Sorry, nobody look at me.
It's almost like he's putting his own head in the corner, though, which is acceptable.
He's like, I'm putting myself in timeout. Don't look at me.
I know what I did wrong already. You don't have to tell me twice.
I do like that. Jump away from Lyzurrr probably won't help him. Eribiiax on the chase. And the Stones will find the kill. 12-9. Retribution certainly keeping up with the kill count this time around. But Noxious, again, objective-minded. They've gotten one tower on the left side, the other tower basically a sneeze away. Gold Furies as well. And because of that, Noxious find themselves up 6,000 gold. Dobson going to fall here. Xuen is going to be the culprit. Misses everything. So it's Gnome that gets the kill.
Gnome has that flame wave up one more time. Going to end up saving his own life after dashing into Total Bad Boy. But the through space in time, like a homing beacon, immediately connects and just slaps Gnome all the way back into the fountain.
Meanwhile, XuenMushh looking for the play on Mr. Turtle, and the combo is good. XuenMushh just absolutely styling on him. Fearless to fearless, out of control here for the... I don't know what position he is. He's just pulling a tear right now.
Eribiiax looking to commit onto Meownaid. Meownaid's portal should be coming back up any second now, though, and with the safety of his T2 tower so close by, Eribiiax going to have to walk away from that one. But going back to what you were mentioning, as far as the kill count is concerned, sure, Retribution have definitely done their job in making this one appear to be a closer game. But these are all just single offhanded picks that Noxious have kind of been permitting to take place because they're not very interested in grouping right now. They're seeing what they can get away with, and some of it's pretty disgusting.
Meownaid right now trying to get away with sitting on his own tower. Not even going to be able to do that. Dobson chased down by the support Cupid. He's able to use the ult to get away, but the tier 1 tower in the middle lane has already fallen. Tier 2 next on the menu. XuenMushh proxy farming, and the rest of the crew in the middle lane chasing Dobson out of here. Mr. Turtle will miss the freeze by about a football pitch, and so the tier 2 tower now being aggressed on. Lyzurrr's here by himself. The rest of the team of Noxious surrounding the poor Nike, and the shot from a distance is number 17 for Gnome. Mr. Turtle could be next. The chase down, Eribiiax looking for the last hit. 2 freeze, but I don't know what I said. But Eribiiax got a kill. That's the important part. Total Bad Boy with a double kill. Noxious getting a little bit more aggressive than they should. 2 for 2.
Noxious forgetting how much damage a T2 tower can deal, I think, without a true tank to actually absorb those blows. Through space and time, going to connect on 3-4. Mango, one more auto is going to do it. Dobson still looking to give chase here to Mango. Actually going to use the beads just for good measure. Still can't find that last auto attack. And it might have taken Dobson just a little bit too long here, but the invis should be coming up any second. In fact, will get him away from Xuen and Eribiiax for now. But if he's not careful, Dobson might find himself being aggressed on one more time here.
Yeah, there's a fearless into the wall and the nonsense from Pele.
They keep juking backwards. It's like they're out if you just run in a straight line towards your next tower, and yet he jukes back towards the T1. That's like 10% out.
The idea is that he's trying to make the tier miss. The problem is, we haven't seen him miss all that often. He missed maybe once or twice in lane, and since then, Xuen has been kind of on the money. I'd say 80% accuracy.
They're slowing themselves, though, by trying to juke. And when you're moving so slowly from just constantly wiggling around, Tyr's gonna find that Fearless. One more time, Lyzurrr remembering just that, and with Gnome showing face here now too, stun will apply, and shouldn't take much more to bring down Lyzurrr. Well, unless you are Gnome and you shoot out a bomb into left field.
Well, Dobson gonna get a kill. Good for him. And Mango. Mango getting the kill. Nice and easy. Fire Giant looks to be on the mind of Noxious. Or not. They're just going to look to push on the right-hand side. Apollo using that ult as he heard the call that players were on the right side of the map. Likely to look up by the Fire Giant, but instead, they're just going to go for the tower.
Eribiiax is going to find him and outrun him because he's Pele. Total Bad Boy has a chance to back here, but will be spotted out one more time. Dash forward from Eribiiax, and the chase is on. Total Bad Boy's already been forced away, but the Mesmerize is not going to connect. A little bit too soon there, and Eribiiax wasn't actually in range for it. Magma rushes to close the gap. Total Bad Boy has survived a lot longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, but all good things come to an end. And as soon as you mentioned it, Eribiiax gets the kill. Mango falls down. Support Cupid not exactly doing it right now. He's only 1-5 and 9. 9 assists, by the way. Another good fight for Noxious on the right-hand side. Eribiiax with kill number 11 on the jungle. Pele XuenMushh gets his own kill number 6. And Lyzurrr with a big old shield that exists for a while is the next to be under attack. Noxious holding steady on the right side, 11,000 in the lead.
Dobson can't even defend the T2 tower because if he steps up a little bit too close to Hydro on this OE, that counter matchup is just too much to handle. Xuen, though, off the mark with the Fearless, so Lyzurrr gonna have to just be controlled from a nice bomb stun there by Gnome. Gnome, though, nearly ended up dying in the process had it not been for Eribiiax finding the final blow.
Oh well, Eribiiax has been out of control. The mid laner normally playing in the jungle here for fun. 12, 2, and 4 on the Pele. And certainly has had a Pele of a daylight here. Dashing forward is the Apollo. Hydro in trouble by himself, drops the stuns, but here comes Eribiiax. He's got a baker's dozen all for himself. Not done just yet, looking up the mid lane.
It's only Mango and Hydro, but Total Bad Boy might just end up dying to the Bomb Heart stun. And in fact, he will. Fields of Love plus that Bomb Heart, or that Heart Bomb, is just a little bit too much for Total Bad Boy to handle even.
Oh, the freeze. Nice beats. Hydro jumps away. Does have help here. Mango's going to show up.
Dobson missed every auto attack, so no damage being applied.
0. A big old 0.
Goose egg.
Not zilch.
Nada.
Sano.
Negative?
Less than 1.
More than -1.
2 minus 2.
100 times 0.
Well, that time, Dobson gets 100 times 1. 100 to 0ing Hydra. Apollo looking to keep Xuen out of here. The back is not so strong. The rest of Noxious knocking on the door. Total Bad Boy! Gonna be sent back to base like a good boy.
He's totally dead.
Yeah. Mid lane Phoenix here being pushed up by Noxious one more time. XuenMushh taking a lot of the damage from Janus, not really concerned about the 3, 5, and 8 Janus. Backline, Gnome and Mango in trouble as Lyzurrr has found her way into the backline. And Mr. Turtle answers back. Noxious ultimately do get the Phoenix. Oh. And the fight after the fact, Meownate just gets teared up.
But Reform Mango will be brought down on the backside. It's only Xuen, still local, and Eribiiax, but Eribiiax with as much speed as he has, just looking to run away from Lyzurrr here as Xuen tries to bring down Dobson all by his lonesome. Eribiiax could end up falling to Lyzurrr, but he's actually out trading in the sustain game.
Oh, the lifesteal almost good enough. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Noxious still up front. Well, their last exchange, their last sequence, not exactly the finest that they've had in these past 2 games.
What is... Wait. Dobson's still around. Zwen's going to realize that he's here because the creep waves are going to reveal him on the map, but Dobson still not choosing it back, still pushing forward with the creep wave. His Total Bad Boy has made the new mark here for Noxious, and they're just going to chase this Apollo around the map, couple of in-hands after the ricochet. The Total Bad Boy will end up falling one more time here.
Nice and easy.
Had both of his relics available, but just completely understood that he was probably dead by rights just for having been so far up in the first place. I kind of want to see Noxious with a little bit more discipline, though. They have been chasing around, playing with their food just a little bit too long here. I think you group and take the Fire Giant and just call it a day.
Exactly. Looking for the kill here. Lyzurrr going to get killed up. Number 32 for Noxious. Fire Giant could be next to them. 22 minutes on the clock. They've certainly got a large enough lead to do so, excuse me. Hey, Taco, who do you think lives in that little house in the Fire Giant? I always say that's where DM Brandon lives. You got a guess?
You're really just going to do Brandon like that right now?
I always say he's a little Fire Giant gremlin. Remember those 3 little gremlins? He was one of them, and we shoved him back in there. Now we got the Pyromancer. That's the story of the map, folks.
I'm trying to think of who the grumpiest player might be.
Weaken?
I was actually going to say, I feel like Zeros gives that really, like, grumpy look.
Zeros is always looking like he's angry.
But he's happy.
He's always just hanging out, getting the dink. Dinkmeister.
I'm not sure that's what he sounds like, but I'll take it.
It is, trust me. That's exactly him. That was him in the studio, actually. Believe it or not.
I'll believe it in November.
Dignitas securing their berth to DreamHack, not having to go through the placement stage. So no surprise there. Surprise on the North American side of things, though. Splice making their way. Honestly, what's your take on that?
I'm really excited for the team. I think that they are definitely getting the recognition they deserve. Moswell especially, finally getting the recognition he deserves. He's always been a nuts player, but
nobody's recognizing Noxious just walking in. Apollo is no longer here. He's up the lane, and Noxious looking for the victory here.
That was a great through space and time, though, from Yaonate. Arguably his best all game. Dobson going to actually end up bringing down Hydro, but will trade out his life in the process. Yaonate still rushing back to the fountain, though, with full health and mana, as Total Bad Boy just continues to get aggressed on by XuenMushh. Xuen has kept Total Bad Boy away from this engagement. So for that great through space and time to connect, there just wasn't enough follow-up damage to properly capitalize off of it, and now Noxious just looking to make their final siege into the base.
Lyzurrr does fall down. The mid lane Phoenix about to respawn, so Noxious has to take care of that structure first. But with 3 players down here for Retribution, Noxious just gonna walk right in. Nice mez coming out from Total Bad Boy as XuenMushh gets baited into the fountain. Titan taking low damage here. Noxious need to change their target focus. Titan healed up. Noxious coming right on in here. Eribiiax gonna focus it. Here comes the rest of the squad. 50% on the target. Eribiiax relatively low, and Yaonate will make sure he's even lower. Noxious having some trouble here. Good defense from Retribution. Up until there, Dobson gonna look for one and will find it. And that might be good enough here. Gnome will be taken care of as well. And a strong defensive set coming out from Retribution.
Mango should be falling in a second now, but the Blink's gonna bail him out instead, and this Cupid with the great escape, but Dobson still not willing to let him go. Reform Mango has no idea that Dobson's still chasing Fields of Love just for good measure to continue his escape. If Dobson keeps chasing, well, doesn't need to keep chasing any longer, but will spot out Hydro anyway. Nice damage applied from the Invis, and Dobson still on the run. Will end up getting hit by the Sunbreaker, but won't be brought down in the end. Full deicide here, and this is just Noxious being punished for, quite honestly, it's just unnecessary play.
Yeah, no, this is Noxious being obnoxious and kind of getting slapped in the face for it.
This is a game that Noxious can close out any second that they choose to actually play as a team and group up, but they're feeding into this. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it without going too over the top.
You're trying to be nice. I'm not. Noxious could have won this game about 4 minutes ago, and they could have won in that last push.
This is the type of play, though, you can't afford to do against the higher seeded teams and expect to get away with.
Exactly. This is the type of nonsense you can kind of push around some lower end teams here, but if you're looking to be competitive, not the world you want to be in. And P.S. This is now Loki is doing Loki things, and every push you get, Loki will die, but Loki will take Eribiiax or Gnome or Hydra with him, and that's an issue.
If Noxious keep playing with their food, they might even find themselves on the losing side of things, because Retribution, all of their members are actually approaching this level 20 mark. The fact that Reform Mango hasn't hit 20 yet is honestly embarrassing with how much of a lead Noxious had.
Yeah, I mean, he's a support Cupid, but I agree.
Even more reason why he should have been level 20 a long time ago.
That's fair.
He can actually clear out the camps himself. It's not like he's got the most defensive build in the world. He's got a Void Shield, he's got Chin Size, even a Frostbound Hammer is still relatively aggressive by consideration. And Eribiiax now actually going to have to provide some assistance here to Mango. Total Bad Boy going to be able to ult away no problem, but same can't be said for Meowne. Through Space and Time has been expended, but he could wind up getting cut off by Gnome, because if I'm guessing right, Tom, and we've been watching 27 minutes of this game, Noxious are going to choose to chase instead of doing what they should be doing, which is trying to end the game.
No, I'm looking for the kill onto the mid laner. Won't find it, but Reform Mango will. Now Gnome in trouble. The Total Bad Boy shows up and finds the basic. That said, Noxious take care of the Fire Giant. Mid for mid. Mango gonna lose this one, as the damage-oriented Apollo might come out on the bottom. Nice Aegis, but it's not good enough. Support Cupid wins the trade. Eesh, Bad Boy, that's not going on your highlight reel. 40-29, Noxious grouping up for the mid push.
But two members still dead from Noxious. And it's Eribiiax and Gnome, two of the best damage dealers for that Titan push. And the Titan is steadily healing away. Retribution have bought enough time for their mid Phoenix to respawn, because Noxious are just playing like degenerates, running around the map, chasing kills instead of looking for the objective-minded emphasis that they had in Game 1.
Yeah, this is stupid. Noxious have a great lead right now. 12,000 gold. Nothing that Retribution has done has really stopped them, because Retribution have a strong mindset. Dobson has absolutely stepped it up, and he's been an integral part of what has allowed Retribution to keep Noxious at bay. But really, the defensive the most valuable defensive player in this game right now is Noxious as a whole. They are, as philosophers lit would say, their own worst enemies.
Well, if the next 10 minutes are anything like the past 10, I don't see this one ending anytime soon here, Tom, because kills are apparently... I think that they think this works like Arena now, where every ticket will eventually lead to the win.
A lot of the Battle Royales have a situation where a victory is worth less than kills. So you don't want to be passive, you want to be very aggressive. You get a number of points based on how many kills you get. And I think that's what Noxious are doing here. Looking for the final battle, 1-for-1, as Dobson trades out with Hydra. And XuenMushh takes care of the mid lane. Noxious grouped up as 4 on top of Lyzurrr. This could be the push here. Lyzurrr not going to be stunned out, but it's a 4-on-2 as Dobson and Total Bad Boy are outside of the team fight.
Mr. Turtle getting controlled on the back end as well from Eribiiax and Xuen, with 3 members dead here from Retribution. This could be it from Noxious. They might just look to end the game. They're going to look towards this left-hand Phoenix first, though.
Dobson has the ultimate, uses it on the front line. Wrong choice!
Foresee this.
He did not foresee that. Total Bad Boy, the only one left, will get one, but then get traded out. And with the full deicide, Noxious going to look for the win. Nothing else to distract them from the Titan. And in 30 minutes of play, 45 kills, by the way. Noxious take game number 2. That's the set above red.
I'm actually surprised. Meowne's respawning in 1 second here, and Noxious didn't choose to peel away from the Titan to kill him.
Well, Noxious got their head in the game and wound up taking the victory above red. 2 games to none. Fantastic job for them on the way out. Funny stuff, switching of positions towards the end. But hey, if you can beat a team by doing that, go for it, man.
I'll commend them for their Game 1 performance. Game 2 was, that was just silly and unnecessary from Noxious for sure. And I think that if they keep it to the game 1 performance that we saw from them, then this is definitely a contendable team in the future. But for right now, after that game 2 performance, not so sure.
Right now, who's the most valuable player to ask here? I'm looking at Eribiiax in the jungle. Pele looked really strong, was able to really come through. What was it, like 15 kills or something for the jungle Pele, who, again, out of position. Eribiiax normally the mid laner for this team.
I'd really give it to total bad boy on the enemy team. He was actually doing some great rotations off of that Apollo, and despite not having won, I think that he performed better than the entirety of Noxious in game 2.
Dobson did find some of the strong stuff towards the latter part of the game as well, which is when Loki's supposed to perform. You're not expecting Loki to have this Naja type early game, so Dobson did his job in the late game. Got to give shout-outs to him as well. Let's take a look at the snapshot of how the standings are looking, though, and where all these teams are sitting pretty. Noxious will be number 2 there, 3-3. Team RvL, though, undefeated in Europe.
And I understand why. After game 2 there from Noxious, you're not going to get to the top by messing around with the playground. And I just think that if they clean it up around the edges, then they'll certainly be a team that can maybe go toe-to-toe with RvL. But for now, definitely need to get back to the drawing board.
Certainly something to think about for Noxious in the future. But most valuable player on the way here, as I said, Pele. Very interesting, but it's all going to be about Gnome. The Agni player, KDA of 1.5, he was able to do that. Find the basics, kill Dobson, impressive stuff.
It worked out in the end for Noxious. I think that Gnome also definitely fed pretty heavily into this whole chase mentality that the rest of Noxious were participating in for quite some period of time. But at the end of the day, Gnome managed to help bring it home.
For sure. Yeah, Gnome certainly breaking it down, making a big play as the most valuable player here in the middle lane on that Agni. Normally a solo laner. So Gnome coming through in the clutch and helping out his team there for the turnaround. 1 match down, 3 to go. We got more console action on the way. Stay tuned. The SmiteCL.